Welcome back to the realest channel on YouTube. And what did we see for the first time? We saw Jake Paul go the distance with Tyron Woodley. 8 rounds, both guys gassed out. Tyron Woodley didn't gas out as obvious as Jake Paul because he was on the front foot, but we'll get back to that. So we saw Tommy Fury in there against Anthony Taylor. I can't lie, I was disappointed, man, because I was backing Tommy for this one. I was backing him to perform and get this guy out of there. I was thinking, yeah, Tommy's coming on a different vibe. He spoke about his intentions to be a world champion. He spoke about how long he's been in the gym fighting alongside his brother. So I was expecting a big performance, US debut, and it was very underwhelming. And that's just me being honest. I like Tommy. I don't know him personally, but I like the energy he gives off. But I don't know about this boxing thing, though. I don't know about this boxing thing because that guy, he should have knocked him out today. He's 5'6.5". Normally fights at 155, I believe. Overweight. He couldn't box properly, couldn't jab properly, he couldn't do anything properly. And Tommy couldn't exploit how poor Taylor was because he is not throwing his punches correctly and he doesn't look as coordinated as he should be. So that was disappointing. He got the win. A win's a win, but sometimes it doesn't matter how you win, and especially at the beginning of your career when you're expected to kill people, not literally, but you're supposed to be, you know, a force to be reckoned with, and that's normally done by finishes. You should be getting guys like that out of there. You shouldn't be seeing the final belt, and he did. So not impressive from Tommy, and he'll know deep down in his heart that it's something you can learn from, because of course you can learn from everything, but that is not the desired outcome. We saw Ivan Varanchek versus Montana Love. Good fight. Varanchek, we know he comes to scrap. That's his thing. He's coming forward and he's coming to scrap and he's gonna swing for you. I've never seen Montana Love before, but he gave me a Adrian Broner feel. He gave me the feel of Adrian Broner in his prime in terms of how he's carrying himself and his persona. His fighting style, sharpshooter, accurate puncher, doesn't waste anything, could be potentially outworked because he has a low work rate, but when he lets his shots go, they're accurate, and he's obviously got enough power because he got the finish as well, and he allowed Varanchek to walk on to a lot of punches. So I'd like to see more from him, and I feel like maybe he's the type of fighter that with more test and more of a difficult opponent, he will use all of his tools. From seeing him, impressive, clean puncher, but maybe just can throw a few more punches and stand his ground a little bit more. And because when he done that, the finish wasn't too far away. So either way, good to see a new talent, and that's what this is about. Moving on, we saw Daniel Dubois in there with Joe Casimano, 19-3 with 17 knockouts. We know Daniel was going in there 16-1, I believe, with 15 knockouts, and he done exactly what I thought he would do, which is in front of the US audience, take man out in good fashion. First round, the guy looked like he wanted to fight. He looked like he wanted to give Daniel a fight, but he just wasn't strong enough. He actually wasn't packing enough power to keep Daniel off him, and that was evident. When Casimano did throw his arms out though, he did catch Daniel, and it was normally when he was punching at the same time as Daniel that he managed to get his shots in. It's hard to always break down a performance from a 1-round finish, but I would say the only thing that Daniel, should look at is why is it that when his opponent did throw some punches, they were landing clean. He wasn't riding any of the shots, they were landing clean, and that is something that I'm sure him and his team will look at and say, cool, we need to be more cautious when throwing. But still, first round knockout, still in front of the US crowd, still on the Jake Paul undercard, so many eyes for people to see. So shout out to Daniel for doing his thing as always, and he's always done his thing, and he moves through, and I'm sure he will continue to move through. He's ranked #1 with the WBA right now, so he's in prime position to see what's happening between AJ and Usyk when they square off very shortly, actually, September the 20-something. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one. Next, we got Amanda Serrano. That was a good fight. Women's boxing is really coming into its own as of recent, and they're having some real toe-to-toe scraps that you can watch and just think wow and appreciate what they're doing and how they're going to war. Yamile Mercado, that's it, Yamile Mercado. So Amanda Serrano won that in unanimous decision, retained her WBC, WBO and IBO female featherweight titles. And again, just a good fight, just toe to toe, working head and body. Serrano clearly the better boxer, but the toughness from Mercado to stay in there and keep swinging back and take her to the end. What can you say? What can you say? That was a really good fight to see, and I'm glad that they're getting the exposure that they deserve, because there's some really good female fighters out there, and if we are not exposed to them, we will never know. So great fight to put on the card, great exposure, and we can be happy with that one. Moving now back to the main event, which is what we was all waiting for. Tyron Woodley looked really stiff walking to the ring. I wasn't too sure on how he was feeling and how he was going to perform based off his ring walk. Jake looked a lot more relaxed in the changing room and on the ring walk. But once the fight began, which is when it all matters, we saw Jake off to a good start boxing him, but his tank ran out really fast. And I think Jake will have a list of people now who feel confident to fight him again, because they will say he has a stamina issue. We have to remember, this guy hasn't boxed many rounds under the lights. Sparring and fights are similar but not the same, and no matter how many rounds he spars, it's never going to replicate a full fight under the lights on the day. And you can experience an adrenaline dump, you can experience a lot of things that allow you to feel tired or tire quicker than you would in the gym, because you're just not in your comfort zone. And I think that's what happened to Jake yesterday. But did he quit? No. Did he find a way to box and survive and move and roll and hold? Yes, he did. Did he find a way to still box his way to a victory? Yes, he did. And that is going to be priceless for him and his progress. Tyron Woodley was the perfect opponent because he put some pressure on him. He hit him with some hurtful shots, rocked him a couple times, but Tyron didn't have the intensity to put the combinations together, cut the ring down and make Jake work even harder than he was making him work anyway, because we could see that Jake was fatigued and he was ready to keep the pace at what it was. Do you know what I mean? There's a pace in there that fighters know they're happy with, and there's a pace they know they're unhappy with. If Tyron would have stepped up 2 more gears, we would have seen Jake have to dig deeper, and who knows how that would have ended. But if, maybes, coulda, woulda, shoulda, doesn't matter, because he didn't do it and Jake did box and he got the victory. Should they have a rematch? Tyron is saying that he's gonna tattoo "I love Jake Paul" on my thigh in order to give himself a rematch, and I don't know if he should do that. Maybe the bagging will be crazy and then he can cover it after the second fight, but I think a rematch makes sense. I think it's Jake's found his level, he's found who can push him but at the same time not beat him, which is excellent, and he can try and top his performance this time round in the rematch by getting a finish. And I'm sure Tyron might show a little bit more urgency in his work. Fighting someone in their hometown, you think he would go for the finish more than he did, but quite frustrating to see. Something that I've done in my own career, where I've watched back my fights and thought I could have done a bit more, and it's not a nice feeling. It's not a nice feeling, because you know you didn't leave it all out there, and Tyron will be feeling like that when he watches this fight, and hopefully he gets the rematch to fix what he didn't do tonight. But great show, good fights on there, you know, it's entertaining at the bottom line. It's very entertaining. Even, you know, seeing Tommy Fury, like I said, is not the best skill. I'm not happy with the skill, but it's still intriguing. You still want to watch and you still want to see what's happening, and that is what the sport is about, and that is what these events are about. Let's see how everything unfolds. I'm sure JJ will have some things to say on Jake's performance. I'm sure a lot of people will have things to say on Jake's performance, and confidence will be high right now to fight Jake Paul, because he did show vulnerabilities today, and that's the beautiful thing, because he gets a chance to iron them out, come back and prove to people that what was a vulnerability today won't be tomorrow. But anyway, check your subscription feed. Pure Oxygen, you know what to do with that. My Protein, you know what to do with that. 37% off. Use Viddal on checkout. Remember I told you about them crispy layered caramel bars in the last video? Still got them there. That snack 30. Make sure you grab that one there. If I am not on your home screen, make sure you got that notification bell ticked anyway, because you can just know when the release is uploading. I'll have more videos coming soon. You saw the preview for Left in the Hands of the Judges, a food thing that I'm doing. I'm bringing that to the channel just to separate some reactions from some other content. And trust me when I can tell you guys that I'll be fighting next, I will tell you. okay? Because no one's more frustrated than me about. So it's the end of the video. Don't know what I do at the end of the video.